It's built on the side of a hill, it's aimed at younger families, and it's full of charm. But how do the rides at Gulliver's Kingdom actually stack up? Let's get into it and see what should be kept, what's okay, and what should be scrapped. Right, let's start with a ride that is reasonably unique. Not the only one out there by any stretch, but it's not a common ride, and that is Rigger's Revenge. Now this is kind of like a suspended coaster. I mean, you're basically dangling there in a harness and flying around this track. And it's pretty cool. Now, it's obviously not a high throughput ride. Nothing in this park is. You have to get the whole kit on and all that, the harness, blah, blah, blah. And then you run up the lift hill yourself, and then you jump off and off you go. It's great fun. It is a lot of fun. Probably not designed for adults, but I don't care. I had a lot of fun on it. Spinning all over the shop, zipping out. It's just great. It's not very long though. That is my one criticism. But again, because this park is built on a hill, you get some great views from a number of the rides, and this is one of them. So yeah, listen, we'll start off strong and we'll put this one in the keep pile. Right, now up at the top of the park, there is a log flume. And it's a weird one. Now, it's again, it's an impressive, again, on the hill, beautiful, lovely. There's a reasonable layout, but they just forgot to do any theming. Again, I'm not expecting like Disney or Universal level theming here, you know, we're talking about Gulliver's, but yeah, there isn't any. So you're kind of meandering around in this boat and you're like, la 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 la. You know, and then there's the drop, and actually I think I got stuck at the bottom of the lift hill, didn't think I was going to get up it until the next boat shoved me. I'll put it and take it or leave it. I think it's got a lot of potential if they don't even have to spend a lot of money, just a little bit. Put a few things around the track, make a massive difference. Also up at the top of the park is the Dark Ride, or Silver Mine Ride. It's a little shoot 'em ride thing, and it's pretty cheesy to be honest. I don't know, this I sit on the fence with the shooter rides. Sometimes I think they're pretty good, sometimes I think they're a waste of space. And they've done more theming on this than they did on the log flume, for sure. I just think I mean, it crawls around at a snail's pace. I don't even think the targets worked very well. So yeah, I like the idea of it, but I think this particular one, I'd scrap it. Another thing that's kind of different is their Dodgems. Now they're laser Dodgems because you, a bit like the ride we've just talked about, you have a gun and you're shooting targets on the other Dodgems to try and get a score. Which is kind of unique, that's kind of cool, like that. But then, the weird thing is, unlike traditional Dodgems, where, you know, there's that pole that goes up and connects to the top and that's how it's powered, these ones are not. These ones are fully battery powered, and that extra piece to do the whole shooting stuff, from what I've seen and heard, throughout the day, they start to die. So if you go in the morning, all the cars are available, and you go later in the day, it depends how many have got battery left. Which is a little bit odd. So nonetheless, it's an interesting concept, right? I think it's the only time I've ever seen Dodgems that have that interactive element in them. So you probably want to go in two, so one person's driving and one person's shooting, or try and multitask, I don't know. But I quite like the idea of it. I just think it would have made more sense if it was powered in the traditional way. So nonetheless, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to chuck this next one in just because it's listed on their website under rides. I think it's a bit of a stretch personally. And that is the chairlift, because, I mean, as I've said, this is built on a hill. It's quite a unique concept, and I think they lean into it quite well. And obviously you have this chairlift to get you up most of the hill. I think it takes you near the top, and then there's a travelator to go the last little bit, which is itself pointless, and you're better just walking. But the chairlift is good. It's probably better coming back down because, again, you'll get those views, because otherwise you're looking up the hill, you can't see very much. Coming back down, you're looking out and you can see all the views. So listen, it's kind of a necessity because there's a lot of walking in this hill. There's a lot of walking off the hill in this park. So yeah, I mean, it's unsurprising. I'm gonna keep it. On your way up that lift hill, chairlift thingy-me-bob, you're gonna see this next ride, and that is Dino Falls. Now, this is a set of flumes, effectively, that you go down in a little dinghy. Might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure these were relocated from Camelot. I'm pretty sure when I did the history series, that's where they ended up, is in this park. But yeah, listen, I only did one side because I wasn't going back around to do it again. It's okay. I mean, I think there's like a little dinosaur somewhere, so, you know, to play into the theme, it's just a log flume. So I'm gonna put this one in take or leave it. Sticking with the dino theme, I mean, you could argue a little bit more theming on this one, is their Dino Explorer cars. Now, I think this is kind of humorous because it's basically their vintage car ride that they have taken and dinosaur themed. I've never seen, I mean, it's kind of, when you think Jurassic Park, you think of the Jeep buggy thing that they go around in, and there's other places that have got that style of attraction. I've never seen a vintage car used in the dinosaur theming, which is quite unique, a little bit quirky. It's odd though, and there's not a huge amount to it. Like, again, this is aimed at a very, very young audience. I'm sure they absolutely love it. For me, it was a bit of a waste of space, and it's one that I'll put in the scrap pile. Right, we're about halfway through this list, and I'd love to know your thoughts. Strange little park, definitely aimed at a different audience. If you've been, tell me what you think. If you are enjoying this one, make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe. I have ordered a new counter that's not broken, so that should be here tonight. So they got a kind of teacups-esque ride called the Crazy Barrel Ride. Now, interestingly, when I did this park, I had just done one of the other Gulliver's parks the day before, and it had the same attraction, although I don't know if it was just the ride up or if it's actually the ride itself. The one I did the day before in the other park was way, way more enjoyable, much better cycle, spun a lot more, etc. This one didn't really spin very much. I mean, it did spin obviously, so I don't know if that is like the ramped down version, if it is, as I say, at the discretion of the ride op, different cycles, etc. But for me, this one just didn't hit, so I'm going to put this one in take it or leave it. This next one is great if you want a workout, and that is that they've got a cycle monorail, and as the name suggests, you are cycling your way around this monorail track. And I went on it, and I don't think I realised how long the track was, because I sort of burnt myself out in the first half, and then went, oh dear, I've still got to get back. Which wasn't ideal. So just if you do this, again, if you do this, you are up top and you get spectacular views. So it is definitely an enjoyable attraction from that point of view. But just bear in mind that pace yourself, basically, or make sure there's two people on there who will pedal. I.e., if you're on with a child, you're doing it all yourself. Nonetheless, it is an enjoyable ride and there are some cracking views, so I'm going to keep it. So they do have a traditional coaster, and that is their log roller coaster, which we went on when I went there. We had some ERT on that and the suspended thingy-me-bob, and it was a multi-lap special. I can't remember if it was 2 laps or 3 actually. That might vary depending on how busy it is. It's not an impressive track layout, it's a kids coaster, right? What do you expect? But again, at certain points of it, you can see across the hills. So there's so many attractions here where you get a fantastic view, which really, really helps. So as I've said in many things, I don't like scrapping coasters. Yes, I scrapped the Hulk. I know, you're all bitter about it. But I'm going to keep this one. Right now, down towards the bottom of the park, they have a double-decker carousel. As the name suggests, it's got 2 levels on it, and it's a carousel. Nothing particularly special about this one, it's fairly standard, but as always, I do think flat rides have an important part in a park. So let's keep this one. And also down at that lower part of the park is, I don't know how to describe it, it's kind of like, it's a boat ride. It's one of those kind of round boats. You would think of it as a rapids ride, except it's not, right? It's very, very tame. There's no kind of fast flowing water, but it's that circular boat that you get in and off you go. And it's known as Buddy's Pirate Adventure. Listen, this actually does have some theming on it, right? There are definitely parts around the ride where there is some theming, including some questionable theming for children, because there are mermaids who aren't wearing very many clothes, which is a little odd. Despite the theming, questionable theming of course, I wasn't that impressed with it. It's got a reasonable footprint, so I would say they could probably do something else with it. Maybe just re-theme it, I don't know. But as it stands right now, I personally scrap it. There's a couple of attractions here that I did not experience. Well, there's quite a few actually, because there's some really little ones that, again, I shouldn't go on. But one of them is the pirate ship. It was unfortunately not operating on the day that I visited, Again, doesn't look like anything particularly unique about it, it's just a pirate ship. I do like a pirate ship though, so I am going to give this one the benefit of the doubt and put it in the keep pile. And then the other thing that they've got here that is not that common in a theme park, again, I can think of a couple of examples where this exists, and that is this kind of climbing frame treetop thing. I mean, they call it the Crow's Nest Quest, but it's basically where you get the harness and you kind of climb up to different levels, and you know, there's kind of like bits that you walk across, bits that you kind of zip line across, I think. I didn't do it. It's quite a big imposing structure in the park. I'd imagine it's one that you probably want to get to early in the day. They do have time slots, so I guess it'll be harder to get on later in the day because, you know, slots run out and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't do it, as I said, but it looks interesting, so I'm going to give this one the benefit of the doubt as well and put it in the keep pile. But if you've done it, and the pirate ship for that matter, if you've done these and I'm wrong, well, let me know in the comments down below. The park has a little drop tower as well, known as the treetop drop, I believe. It doesn't look that much like it's a kid's drop tower, nothing spectacular. But I was actually pleasantly surprised by this one, partly because of its elevation. Again, you're up at the top of this park, it's quite a steep hill and you have a spectacular view. So depending on what side you're on, I was fortunate enough to be facing out at that view, and it was impressive. And given that extra height, the drops just feel a little bit more, I don't want to say intense, but because you're seeing this like you're up high, I mean, you're not off the ground, but you are up high based on what you can see, you feel it a bit more when you drop. So yeah, this is a great little drop tower and definitely one I'd keep. Right, well, there is my summary of this park, and I'm kind of surprised that there is more keep than the other two categories. Listen, it's obviously not aimed at me, and it's a weird park. Like all the Gullivers, you have to have a young child with you. I think 13 and under. I took a 13-year-old with me. She wasn't impressed, so definitely the younger children or a grown-ass man that just want some credits. That would be me. But in any case, if you've been, I'd love to know your thoughts and what you agree with and disagree with. As always, if you've enjoyed this one, hit that like button. I've been Chris, you've been watching Coaster Dad, and I shall see you in the next one. Adios.